Alright, on my other channel, I did a top 10 list. On this channel, I'm going to start doing another top 10 list. This is going to be the most overrated wrestlers of all time. Top 10 most overrated. I might have missed somebody, whatever. Now, some of these guys I actually like. I like some overrated wrestlers. There's like a bunch of really good wrestlers that are overrated. And I'll let you know if I like the wrestler or not and my rationale. Alright, so this is going to be in order of least overrated to most overrated. All right, without further ado, let's get started. Number 10 is someone I didn't think could even possibly be on this list is Seth Rollins. And you might be saying, doesn't everyone hate Seth Rollins? Who likes Seth Rollins? Believe it or not, there are thousands of people who love this guy. I know because on Twitter, I got harassed by people. I haven't even mentioned Seth Rollins in like a year. And I made videos shitting on him like a year ago. And like, people literally harassed me because of my old videos about Seth Rollins, which got taken down, by the way. So they remembered it. It's like, the fact that people are this dedicated to Seth Rollins it actually blows my mind because this guy literally is like horrible. He's like one of the worst wrestlers ever. Like I didn't even think he had any fans. I thought it was just sort of like hating on Jar Jar Binks from Star Wars or something like that. Like that's like the level Seth Rollins is on. I thought everyone just unanimously agreed the guy with the nasally voice that dresses like a woman that like injures everybody is just bad, but apparently not. Apparently people really like this guy. People really like this cross dresser, I guess. I don't know. He's not higher on the list because like most people hate him, but there actually are people out there that like this guy, which means he's already in the top 10 most overrated. The fact that this guy is like he even has a job in WWE is crazy to me. Like it's ridiculous. Number 9 is Shawn Michaels, and I might get a lot of heat for this, but I do think Shawn Michaels has to be in the top 10 overrated. People put him like in the top 5 of all time. Like that is ridiculous. This guy, first of all, he's not. I don't even think he's a draw. I don't think there's any evidence that he's a draw. Every time he was on top in the company, like it's been a down period for the business. However, I love Shawn Michaels because his Ruthless Aggression run is probably the most talent I've ever seen in a wrestler. Like Ruthless Aggression Shawn Michaels is so good. The reason I think he's overrated is because one, he's not a draw, and two, New Gen Shawn Michaels is terrible. People forget how bad he was in the New Gen era. Like this guy was like you guys hate Cody Rhodes. This guy was like worse than Cody Rhodes in the New Gen era. This guy was like literally like he's like a skinny twerp that like beats people up and is like an entitled brat, but you're supposed to cheer for him for some reason. And it's just like so stupid. Like New Gen Shawn was garbage, but Ruthless Aggression Shawn was phenomenal. It's like night and day. Literally one of the worst wrestlers to one of the best of all time, depending on the era, is actually crazy. Because Ruthless Aggression Shawn, like incredible, like absolutely incredible. I have no complaints at all. Literally the best wrestler. If it was just if he was Ruthless Aggression Shawn in the New Gen, then he'd be the best. You could say he's like the best like wrestler ever if he was a draw. But the fact that he like started off with that New Gen thing, and there are people who prefer him in the New Gen. New Gen Shawn is garbage. But Ruthless Aggression Shawn, GOAT status. So that's why he's number 9. Number 8 is Randy Orton. This guy has got to be the most top down pushed, like forced down your throat wrestlers ever. This guy was just forced on the WWE since the beginning, bro. This guy was forced down everybody's throats. Like the Legend Killer, like we're just gonna give him where you just kill every single legend, and it's just like great. And then he like turns on Triple H, and it didn't work. And then it's just like okay, now he's feuding with John Cena, and people don't like this, but he just keeps getting pushed down our throats. It's like they selected this guy from the top. Like this guy is like one of the most inorganic wrestlers ever. Now that being said, he's good at his job. His promos suck, but in the ring he's pretty good. And he has really good feuds with The Undertaker. So I do like Randy Orton at the end of the day. But the idea of this guy like being even a top 20 wrestler is crazy. He's a good utility player, but usually the people he's around carry the feud. Like the people around him usually carry the feud, to be honest. So that's why he's at number 8. Next is Benoit, and we all know the incident, whatever. We're not talking about that. Just him as a wrestler in his career. This guy, everyone was acting like, oh, this guy with Bret Hart in WCW was so good. No, it wasn't. That was trash. Benoit is good in the ring. He looks cool, and he's got a good theme song. But in WCW, he sucked, and honestly, in WWE, he mostly sucked too. He had good matches with Triple H, but again, Triple H is just that good. Let's just be honest here. Triple H always has good matches. So yeah, he has good matches. He's a good wrestler, like as a wrestler. But this guy's not a draw. Like when he became champion, like it was a complete down business. So Vince McMahon needed like to push John Cena and Batista to replace him, and it's just like honestly, the reason he's here is because people who hate on Triple H, everything you can hate on Triple H for, you can say about Benoit. He's not a draw. His promos suck. Like he's just like a shorter, not as cool version of Triple H. He's like a lamer. He's like a work. He's like Triple H without. He's like, why even have him if Triple H exists? Because Triple H is just way better. Like Triple H is like, yeah, you had Triple H, Ric Flair, and Batista already on the roster. Like Benoit wasn't even really needed. So, and that whole SmackDown 6 thing is complete revisionist history. Like ratings were down for the SmackDown 6, like compared to like the Rock being on top. When the SmackDown 6 replaced The Rock, of course the ratings went down because nobody in the real world really knows about the SmackDown 6 like that. Let's just be honest, except for like Rey Mysterio. Yeah, SmackDown 6 is total revisionist history. I might make a video on that. But yeah, Benoit, I like Benoit. I think he's great in the ring in terms of like his chops and punches. They're like really good, but he has too many problems, like no charisma, not being a draw. Just kind of like he's just sort of like boring is the problem. But he is cool. I do like him at the same time. So I'll say I do like him, but this is the last wrestler on the list I actually like as a wrestler. Next is AJ Styles. This guy is. First of all, let me just preface, like, as a person, this guy's a good person. Like, he's a great guy. Like, everybody can tell. AJ Styles is an upstanding guy, great person. But, his private life, not his private life, sorry, excuse me. His wrestling career is just the epitome of everything wrong with wrestling. Like, what is AJ Styles' character? Like, everything wrong with wrestling, you could actually, like, put on AJ Styles. Like, AJ Styles is the archetype of, like, bad wrestling. No character, matches that go on for way too long. It's just, like, he literally is, like, the most... I just don't get it. Yeah, he can do flips and stuff, but so could everybody in the X Division. Everyone in that boring-ass X Division was the exact same thing. Like, the X Division was garbage, bro. Like, so... And then AJ Styles, what he has, like, all these flippy-dippy matches are just really boring, and it's just not believable, and it's just, like, it's just a vibe kill, I'm not even gonna lie. When wrestlers like AJ Styles are on the screen, it's just like a vibe kill. He's just not a real wrestler. I mean, when he got jacked in 2024, it was okay, I guess. But by then, wrestling was already, like, ruined, so it just is, like, I don't know. Like, and he comes out in this zesty, like, stripper vest, like, what's going on with that? I don't know. Cool dude, I just do not mess with him as a wrestler. Up next is Samoa Joe, another TNA guy that everyone swears is great. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe Samoa Joe is like, he's like better than AJ Styles, I guess, but he sucks too. He's just like not believable as a wrestler. He's just like, what's his character? Like, what is his character? Again, like you can say that about a lot of these guys. Like, these guys are all, every single wrestler I mentioned on this list, I believe, is like completely generic and is devoid of character, except for Shawn Michaels, and even then, like, Shawn Michaels' character was just like a bad character. He's like a heel that just is hard. Whatever, we're not talking about Shawn. Whereas Samoa Joe is just like, he has no character. He gets injured every like 2 months. He's boring. Like, and people act like this guy would like roast Roddy Piper on the mic. Like, no, this guy couldn't like roast anybody on the mic. That's a real wrestler. Like, what are we talking about? Like, People who are garbage on the mic at TNA roasted this guy to oblivion. It's like, what are we saying? Like, this guy is this guy is super overrated. People are like, this guy's a top 10 performer. Like, what are you talking about? Viscera's more entertaining than this guy. Like, what are we fucking saying? Low-key, Viscera's super underrated. People forget about how entertaining that guy was. But anyway. Yeah, this guy sucks. I never got it. Oh, he does the nope move where he, like, moves out of the way. Ooh. Who cares? Gay shit. The top three are in a league of their own of overrated. These guys epitomize revisionist history and being overrated. Especially the number one pick, but for number three, we got Daniel Bryan. Now, Daniel Bryan, as a person, doesn't seem like a bad guy, you know. But Daniel Bryan is just, like, the idea that this guy is the greatest in-ring wrestler is the funniest thing I've ever fucking heard. Like, it is so absurd. Like, I just don't see how people can believe this. Like, oh, his technical skills. What makes him better than Bob Backlund in the ring? Like, seriously. Like, what actually makes him better than Bob Backlund in the ring? What makes him better than Sergeant Slaughter in the ring? Seriously. I know you'll laugh and say that, but, like, literally, what makes him better? How is Daniel Bryan a better in-ring performer than Triple H? How? Explain to me. Explain to me what Triple H does worse than Daniel Bryan. Explain to me what Mick Foley does worse than Daniel Bryan. Explain to me what Owen Hart does worse than Daniel Bryan in the ring. Explain how Macho Man is not better in the ring than Daniel Bryan. Explain it. I just don't think you can. Like, this guy kicks people 90% of the time. He has mat skills and submission moves. Sure. So do a lot of wrestlers. Pretty much everybody I just named does have submission skills. Benoit has submission skills. Kurt Angle has submission skills. What makes this guy better? But the difference between all the guys I mentioned and this guy is they actually have characters and promo work and they're larger in life, and this guy is not. This guy is not larger than life. This guy is literally just like some bum on the street who is decent in the ring at wrestling. That's it. Like, again, what is Daniel Bryan's character? There is none. So nobody cares. Yeah. The idea that Daniel Bryan is better than Triple H in the ring makes no sense. Again, and I'm glazing Triple H a lot, but, like, I'm just using him as a reference. Like, how is Triple H, even if you don't want to use Triple H as a reference, Ric Flair, how is Daniel Bryan better than Ric Flair in the ring? Don't say Ric Flair does the same shit when Daniel Bryan just kicks people every single time and does the same shit as well. So I don't even know what we're talking about here. Yeah, Daniel Bryan's super overrated, and because once you bust the bubble that this guy is, like, actually that great in the ring, like, everything comes crumbling down. Because that's all everyone says. He's so much better in the ring. John Cena is better in the ring than this guy. Like, what are we saying? Do you think Daniel Bryan could carry the Great Khali to, like, a great match twice, like John Cena did? Hell no. Hell no. It's ridiculous. At number 2, and honestly there's a big gap between 3 and 2, because this guy's way worse. CM Punk is the worst wrestler of all time, in my opinion. Now, thankfully, a lot of people do hate him. Thankfully. I'm not alone on this. However, before recently, people were just glazing this guy's perfect. First of all, his prime, every single prime he's had sank the ratings. This guy's an anti-draw. He can't sell out his hometown. His pipe bomb killed wrestling forever, because now we have small midget guys in the main event that have no characters and are from the indies and that completely suck. And the pipe bomb paved the way for that. So the larger-than-life WWE presentation has been ruined ever since the pipe bomb. He's a terrible person in real life, but whatever, who cares? We're not even going to consider that, because that's irrelevant. But this guy, as a wrestler, as a person, this guy is so morally rotten and disgusting that it's just ridiculous. Like, he makes, like, he's probably, but whatever, who cares? Again, sorry, irrelevant. But the thing is that his entire character is just him saying that he gets screwed over by the system. He literally is just a worse version of The Miz. This guy is a more boring, lamer version of The Miz. Because when The Miz says he's being held down by the system, it's actually true. The Miz actually loses all the time. The Miz actually is better on the mic than CM Punk, and he gets buried all the time. He actually does have talent, but he doesn't complain. He just goes out, does his job, and is actually good. The Miz literally is what CM Punk complains about, but CM Punk is not like that. CM Punk gets pushed artificially, like he gets constant screen time, he gets constant pushes. He like only loses to legends because everybody who's smart knows this guy's not a draw. But whatever. The point is that this guy sucks on the mic. All he does is fucking whine. His segments are torture. His promos go on for way too long. People complain about Triple H Reign of Terror promos. This guy's pipe bomb goes on for like 10 years. And they're boring. And they suck. And all of it is just like, I'm the best. Or, I'm, I'm the best. And he's just like such a pussy. I would, he's the worst, bro. Nothing makes me want to change the channel quicker than this guy. Nothing. So considering he killed wrestling and people have him in like top 10 conversations, he's got to be number 2 of all time for most overrated. However, number 1 needs to be addressed. And number 1 most overrated wrestler of all time, it's not even close, Bret Hart. This guy is so overrated, it's actually comedic. You'll occasionally see people say, like, I just never got Bret. Like, I don't get why everyone loves him. Like, that's like the one classic wrestler I just never got. Like, you'll occasionally see a comment like that. It's like, I just don't get Bret. I don't know. That was literally... Bret is literally responsible for the crash of wrestling. He is responsible for the crash of the WWF. They tried to replace Hulk Hogan with this guy, and it fucking bombed hard. This guy couldn't lace Hogan's bootstrap. They could have easily put the title on Macho Man and kept the business going. But for some reason, Vince was insane and didn't want to put the title on Macho Man. So therefore, Bret sank that company. Bret could not sell out like a 16K venue for WrestleMania. Bret had the biggest brand in wrestling history, the biggest pay-per-view name in wrestling history, and he couldn't sell out a 16K venue where Hulk Hogan sold out a 60K venue the year before. So he had every single thing in the world. The programming, the push, the brand recognition, the star-studded name, and he couldn't get the job done. If Macho Man was in his spot, they would have sold out that venue 2 weeks. Ridiculous. Oh, but what about him in the ring? Him in the ring. Let's talk about him in the ring, because we all know Bret's not a draw. Bret sank the WWF while Hogan made WCW and made the WWF. So let's talk about Bret in the ring. Bret is so good in the ring. Ever notice how Bret Hart always needs like an opponent that's good in the ring for him to stand on his own? Did you ever notice that? Has Bret Hart ever wrestled Andre the Giant when he could barely walk? No. Well, Hulk Hogan did, and he managed to pull on one of the greatest matches ever. Oh, what about Vince McMahon? Bret had a horrible match with Vince McMahon. Oh, okay. If only someone had a good match with Vince McMahon. Oh wait, Hulk Hogan had a great match with Vince McMahon at WrestleMania 19. So Bret, who apparently is the greatest wrestler of all time, post-stroke or not, can't have a decent match with Vince McMahon, but Hulk Hogan, at 50 with a broken back, can have debatably the best match at WrestleMania 19 with Vince McMahon? Like, what's going on? I thought Bret was so good in the ring. Oh, what about Goldberg? Hogan gave Goldberg one of his best matches. Diamond Dallas Page. Great match with Goldberg. Bret, at Starrcade, had a shitty match with Goldberg. So Bret Hart can't have a good match with Goldberg, but Hogan can. Can't have a good match with Vince, but Hogan can. Oh, but Bret can do great with Owen Hart and Benoit, because those guys are also good performers. But you notice how Hogan and John Cena and Triple H, like, they can be paired with shitty wrestlers and still make good matches, but Bret can't? Bret needs someone who's also a good wrestler to really pull out a 5-star. But Hogan, yeah, I'll work with Goldberg. Yeah, I'll work with Vince. And he puts on magic. Ridiculous. So you're telling me Raven could put on a good match with Goldberg. You're telling me Diamond Dallas Page can put on a good match with Goldberg. You're telling me Bobby Lashley can put on a good match with Goldberg, but this guy can't? The greatest wrestler ever can't get a good match out of Goldberg? Why wasn't Bret Hart wrestling Giant Gonzalez? Or Mabel? Why was he only wrestling wrestlers who actually could carry him in the ring? Did you ever notice that? How Bret needs to wrestle wrestlers that are also good? Because he can't have a performance with us. He can't wrestle bad wrestlers and put on a show, is the point. Hulk Hogan can do that. Shawn Michaels can do that. John Cena can do that. That is why Bret is not a GOAT. Not only can he not draw, he can't carry anybody who sucks to a good match. He can't carry... They don't even suck. He can't carry limited wrestlers to a good match like the greats can. So best in the ring, my ass. You could debate he carried Kevin Nash on a match. That's it. Everyone else is a talented performer that, like, helped him get his matches to where they were. Whereas Hogan had to carry Earthquake and crippled Andre, not Prime Andre, crippled Andre. Hogan had to carry all these people. Now, Hogan had to carry the Ultimate Warrior. Macho Man had to carry the Ultimate Warrior. And guess what? They did and took him to the stratosphere. Because those people are actually legends. And Bret Hart is a fraud. Bret Hart complains about Goldberg giving him, oh, Goldberg sucks in the ring. Well, why couldn't you carry him to a good match like Hulk Hogan did? If Goldberg's a 0 in the ring and you're the best in the ring, and Hogan can get a 5-star match out of Goldberg, why can't you? Why can Kurt Hennig get a good match out of Goldberg, but not you? You can have a good match with Mr. Perfect. Guess what? So can anybody. You can have a good match with Shawn Michaels. So can anybody. You can't have a good match with the Great Khali. You can't have a good match with Giant Gonzalez. Like, you can't have a good match with, like, people that aren't there to carry you. You notice that? Notice how he needs to have a dance partner with him. It's because he's a tag wrestler at heart. He's not a single star. This guy was he's used to tag wrestling, not one-on-one. Bret Hart cannot be the face of any company because he sinks every company he's part of. When he became a top guy in WCW, that shit tanked the ratings, just like all the WCW cruiserweights. So the idea that Bret is so good, but he can't carry limited performers to greatness like the other faces of the company could. He's insane. Stone Cold can carry McMahon to a good match. Kurt Angle could carry Shane McMahon to a great match. Like, need I go on? John Cena, Great Khali. Like, need I go on? I mean, I could name Rick Rude, Ultimate Warrior. Bobby Lashley, Goldberg. Need I go on? These are actual people who can carry people through a match. But Bret Hart, the greatest wrestler, doesn't even have an example of carrying someone who's limited in the ring through a match. And you could say Kevin Nash, but Kevin Nash is better in the ring than people give him credit for. But the fact that this is the greatest wrestler of all time, but he fumbles with Vince and he fumbles with Goldberg? Really? You're the greatest in-ring of all time. First of all, you're like the worst drawing champion ever. And on top of that, you're claimed to be the best, but you can't get a good match out of Goldberg. You don't know how to get a good match of the top attraction of the company? That shows you're a lousy piece of crap. Like, let's just be honest here. But no, Bret Hart's right. Everybody else is wrong. It was everybody else's fault the company sank, not him. Forgot. Ridiculous. And people worship this guy like a god. Like, it's crazy. He literally sank the WWF and is so overrated. And he can't even cut a promo. Like, get this fucker out of here, bro. Macho Man clears him.